So here's our first example for a piecewise application problem. It says you have a summer job that pays time and a half for overtime if you work more than 40 hours. After that, it's 1.5 times your hourly rate of $7 per hour. Write a piecewise function for this relation and then determine how much you'll make if you work 48 hours. So on our piecewise function, we're going to have two scenarios. So we have f of x is going to equal. Now first is when we work up to the 40 hours. So our hourly rate is $7 per hour. And our time can either be from 0 to 40 and including 40 hours. Now after 40 hours we'll make 1.5 times the 7. So we're still going to get paid the $7 per 40 hours plus time and a half. So time and a half of 7 would be 10.50. And we're going to say, well, our hours minus the 40. And then your domain will be everything greater than 40. Now, for all of your answers, I want all of this cleaned up. So I want your function to look like this. So that 280 came from the 7 times 40. So now our question is, well, how much money are we going to make if I work 48 hours? Just look at this number and look at these two and say, which one does it fit? Obviously, 48 is greater than 40. So we're just going to take 48 and plug it into our x. So it's really going to be 280 plus 1050 of 48 minus 40. So when you do the math on that, you should be making $364 as your final answer. Now to our next one. It says, let's say we want to buy some blank CDs. For the first 1,000 we paid 74 cents, and then between 1,000 and 2,000 the price will drop to 69 cents, and then anything over 2,000 the price will drop again for 64 cents. So I want to go ahead and write a piecewise function to represent this. So here we're going to have three different scenarios. The first one's for the first 1,000. So for the first 1,000 CDs, we're going to have to be paying 74 cents per CD. So for our domain, it'd be from 0 up to and including 1,000. Now between 1,000 and 2,000, the price will drop to 69 cents, but we're still going to be paying the 74 cents for the first 1,000 CDs. Then we'll be paying the 69 cents for anything over. So minus 1,000. So for this one, it's going to be between 1,000 and up to and including 2,000. Now anything over 2,000, the price will drop down to 64 cents. So we're still paying the 74 cents for the first 1,000 CDs, then 69 cents for the next 1,000 CDs, and then our price drops to 64 cents for anything over 2,000. So we're going to say, well, x minus 2,000. So for our domain, it's going to be x is greater than 2,000. Once again, I want all of this cleaned up, so it should look like this. Now for 3,500 CDs, just look at this number and say, well, which one of these three is it going to fit into? So since 3,500 is greater than 2,000, we're just going to take this number, plug it into our x, and by doing so, we should get 2,390 as your final answer. Now to our last one. It says, let's say for the first 15,000 you earn is taxed at 20%. Then the next 45,000 is taxed at a rate of 25%, and anything over 45,000 will be taxed at 35%. Now we need to write a piecewise function for this. So on this one we have our three different scenarios as well. So for the first one, we're going to be getting taxed at 20% per how much money we make, up to 15,000. So it can be 0 up to and including 15,000. Now for the next part, for the next 45,000, so from 15 to 45,000, we'll be getting taxed at 25%. So we're still getting taxed the 20% for the $15,000, plus now it's going to be 25% for anything over the 15,000. And then for our notation here, it's going to be between 15,000 and 45,000. So be 15,000, which is less than x, less than or equal to 45,000. Now our last one, it says anything over 45,000 will be taxed at 35%. So we're still getting taxed 20% on the 15,000. Then we're getting taxed 25% on 30,000. Now I got 30,000 from right here. Think, from 15,000 to 45,000, that's $30,000. So that's how much we're going to be getting taxed on 20% or 25%. And then everything over 45,000 will be getting taxed at 35%. So So I'm going to say 0.35 x minus the 45,000. So our domain will be everything greater than 45,000. Now once again, I want all of this cleaned up so it should look like this. So now we have our three different scenarios. We have, what if we make 32,500? How much are we going to get in tax? You look at this number, see which one it fits. Now this one fits in the middle, so we're just going to take the 32,500, plug it into x here. By doing so, we should get 7,375. Now for 77,000, it's going to be plugged into this last one because it is greater than 45,000, and by doing so, we should get 21,700. And then our last one, if we made $160,000, once again, it's greater than 45,000, so we'd plug it into this bottom one, and we'd be getting taxed 50,750. And that's it for the piecewise functions for the applications.